Hi guys, I have just released the blueprint for my Vault 88 settlement. I have already made a tour video, so if you'd like to see the vault and find out what's in it, I will leave a link to that down below. In this video, what I want to do is show you how I recommend you use that blueprint. Transfer settlements looks very cool in operation when you're using all of the different animations, but something to remember when you are using it for this vault is you can't really see much of the settlement in question. You're pretty much indoors, so a lot of these options are fairly useless. Well, not fairly useless, in fact can be a little annoying. I would definitely turn off the explosions whilst nuking a settlement. This is because not only is this a big settlement and you might be nuking a lot of objects even if you've not placed a lot, but it can really slow the process down. When I nuked my settlement, and of course it's got well over 3,000 objects, it slowed my frame rate down to about 4 frames a second, and it actually took close to 45 minutes just to nuke the place. So I would recommend turning that off unless you only have a few objects. If you've already run this blueprint once and you want to sort of tear it down and rebuild it, really, I would recommend taking this one off. Unless you just enjoy watching explosions for about 45 minutes. You can wander around the settlement if you want and be a part of the explosions. The import process is pretty standard if you've done this before. Go along to import, select the blueprint, in this case Gopher's Vault 88 Vanilla, and give it a few seconds to load up the actual blueprint itself. This blueprint requires most of the official DLC, everything except Far Harbor actually, but it does not require any mods. Although this blueprint adds over 3,000 items, it's actually not in a state I would call finished. It needs a lot more furniture and a lot more decorations, and that is going to be up to you to add, and I'm assuming many of you will want to add them via mods and use your own choice of mods. In its current state though, this blueprint does not require you to have any mods, so it should work with absolutely everyone's game as long as you have all of the official DLC with the exception of Far Harbor. So I'm going to start that off. Import original items. These are the ones not built by the player. I would suggest that you select this. I would suggest you nuke everything that's in your vault. I would actually go around and loot it all, scrap it all. I would add all of the original items that I have included because I've left some of the original items. So if you want it to look the way it looks in my playthrough, you'll want this selected. Import DLC items. You can have import mod added items or not. It's completely up to you. It won't make a difference with this blueprint. As I mentioned, it has no modded additions. You want import wired power connections. There are a lot of connections that are out of sight. You will not be able to get to them, so you want this one, and you want to restore the snapped power connections. If you want to nuke the settlement before import, and you probably do just to be sure, I'm going to destroy all items linked to the settlement. I've already turned off the animation. Once I've done that, I then do import Vault 88 by Gopher, and the process will begin. You may also want to open the Pip-Boy and just stare at that for a while. Apparently it does speed the process up a little, and I can believe that. Or if you have an existing vault, you could perhaps sit there and just watch it all get slowly demolished and existing settlers fall through ceilings and floors and apparently not get damaged. It's kind of terrifying to watch something you've created get systematically destroyed.
Glad I'm in here and not out there.
Now, if you couldn't resist and had to have the animations, and I wouldn't blame you because it is extremely cool, be a little careful. You can suddenly get thrust into the air and find yourself stranded or dropped or crushed or a variety of... Whoa, okay, there you go. Yeah, as you can see. So, it can be fun. Maybe you could invent a little platforming game if you wanted to try and jump from platform to platform. That's completely up to you. This stage does take longer if, oh good grief, if you have the animations on, but it's not as bad as the nuking. The nuking took sort of 45 minutes. This stage takes a few minutes if you have the animations on, and you know, it probably halves it if you have the animations off. Once the import process is done, the power-up phase will begin. If you have animations on, you can actually see all the different tiles getting connected. It is kind of cool, to be honest. You won't see the lights come on straight away because, of course, they need to be connected to the generators, but it just goes through each tile that can have connectivity and initiates it. You'll see the wires usually come up last, so if you've got things like powered doors, you may have to actually wait a while. And you can, if you like, run around like an excitable cat chasing wires. I will warn you, there will be some stuttering and some frame rate losses if you do. The process does demand quite a bit from your system. However, it is oddly entertaining to actually watch the wires being placed and all of the lights coming on and doors opening up. And when it's done, you will get a little message telling you it has successfully imported. You should, at this point, probably leave the settlement for a while. In fact, it even tells you here, you should get out of here, maybe even take a night's sleep at another settlement to allow things to settle down before you start assigning settlers to jobs, before you start adding things or removing things. Just get out of there, take a bit of a well-earned rest, because, you know, it's tiring running after all of these wires. It really is. And when you come back, the settlement should be ready for you to use. Please note that this blueprint does require transfer settlement 1.41 or later to work, and that requires F4SC 0.4.1 or later. That's for the wired connections. Beyond that, it's pretty much a standard blueprint. As I've mentioned already, it is a vanilla vault. It doesn't have an awful lot of furniture, so you will need to decorate it yourself. And honestly, I look forward to seeing what you guys can do with the vault that I have created. I hope this video gave you some idea of how to use the blueprint to get your mod, and I look forward to reading your comments down below. Good luck and have fun!